Benue is bleeding. Just look at Yellow-Water. Brutal. Brutal beyond words. Over 150 people dead. Hundreds displaced. Farms destroyed. Food stores looted. And you know what one survivor said? He said, I heard them shouting in Fulani. Then the gunfire started. I ran barefooted through the bush. When I came back, everything, my wife, my children, gone. Benue is bleeding. People are dying. Mothers, children, fathers, grandparents. And their only offense? Famine on their ancestral land. Can you just imagine that? I need you to just imagine this. The wail, the cry, the deafening scream from a mother's heart who walks into the room and can't find her children except sleepers dripping of blood. The blood of her children. Children who will never get to graduate. The government is celebrating themselves and hanging up banners talking about 2027. Make I not talk within my mind. People, I am pained. Very pained. The weight of all of this, the grief, the righteous anger that is boiling up from within me. You see, we're not just talking statistics here. These are human beings. And you know, whenever the media says to you over 150, they actually meant to say 1,500. So I ask you, my people, how many more? How many more people need to die? How much more blood do we want to flow along the river Benue? How many more? How much tears do we want them to cry before we will hear them? When will this administration learn to pay attention to what needs attention? When will they take a pause from pushing who should defect from what party to APC and begin to focus on the responsibility before them? What exactly is happening in Benue? So Benue is the food basket of Nigeria. And whatever threatens Benue intends to throw Nigeria into hunger. And so who does it make happy that we are hungry? From where would we be calling for food? These are some of the questions that we need to begin to ask. Who is trading on the lives of Benue people? Whose bucket is getting filled with the blood of the innocent? We should begin to ask very deep questions because, yes, I agree, this has gone on for a while. But you remember Governor Uto? When he came on and said, this is sponsored, and had to go a step ahead of creating his own security. It did save a few lives. And then now we have a governor who says...
So I wouldn't advocate for self-defense.
Nobody's asking you to support anything. We're saying live up to your responsibility as a governor. That's all people are asking for. Nothing else. I don't know how coordinated or not coordinated I sound today, but that's exactly how these killings in Benue has left me the last few days. I had said I will say nothing about this, but how can I be quiet in the face of this inhumanity against our own people? So who are these strangers? Because this is not communal clash. And let nobody fool himself thinking this is communal clash. Or as Mr. President says, senseless. Killing can never be sensible anyways. So we're not looking for sweet sounding words. We're looking for action. Nigerians are calling for action. That's what we're calling for. So this is what we have become. Magun, Plateau State, over 130 farmers massacred by herdsmen. Goza, Borno, suicide bombers kill 32. Injure 48 at a wedding. A wedding is supposed to be a good event, isn't it? But what has happened at Gwasu, Borno? Suicide bombers attack people at a wedding. Baga, Borno. 57 people killed in a Boko Haram ambush. Who were the Boko Haram people? We need to understand. At one time, our former president Buhari said they were from Sudan and Libya and everywhere. Are they still from those places? At least they are human beings, not spirits. How is it that the best African soldiers, Nigerian, who fought for ECOMOG, cannot handle herdsmen? Are they indeed sponsored? Who is sponsoring them? What fingers are we not seeing? This is getting out of hands. Tamua Yobe, 130 dead in a single night. Jesus, these are not just numbers. These are human beings. Why are we making human beings look like they're mere statistics? And then the Christmas massacre in Plateau. Nearly 200 dead and 300 injured. Christmas. And then now in Benue, 150 dead. Communities sacked. Farmlands plundered. And then, the worst of it, the deafening inactivity from Abuja. Yet in Rivers State, where we have an assumed fire outbreak at a well, or is it a pipeline? Without any consultations, a state of emergency was declared and an elected governor suspended. And here we are in Benue. We're waiting for action and no action. So are we only important when it has to do with our oil and gas? Cattle are more important than Nigerians in Nigeria.
Sister, look at cows in Makurdi. Benue State government is escorting them. Makurdi capital. Sister, look.
Oh my God! Can you imagine this?
There's something just not right with the system. Whilst people cry and bleed and die, this administration is busy taking records of who has defected from one party to APC. Are we all about votes? This is 2025 and people are clamoring for 2027. Okay, Governor, I will not carry guns. Please, where were you when your people were crying? What were you doing? Because it's not enough for you to say, oh, it affected 20, whatever. It shouldn't have affected anywhere in the first instance. For you to say it affected 20 something and you beat it down to 3. How? Did you know before it started? Or you waited until it was 20 something so you can pretend to have brought it down and you bring it to 3? Sometimes you people don't even know what to say to people that are in pain. Mr. President, and all members of the House of Assembly, National Assembly, Senators, House of Reps, all of you, State Assembly, everybody. This call is for all of you. It's an emergency. We do not know where the National Emergency Management Agency was at this time. But this is an emergency and you need to declare that state of emergency. So for all the people, I think that This is the time that we begin to give ourselves instruction on what to do. We cannot continue to complain to people who do nothing but just pay deaf ears to what we do. So this is what we will do today. 1. We will all begin to speak. Don't ever say your voice does not matter. It does matter. Speak from your little corner. Benue has been known to be resilient. It did not start today. This has been going on for many years. But somehow in the midst of the horror, something incredible still happens. The people of Benue keep going. They bury their dead, sweep the ashes of their living into little corners and start again. They rebuild with shaking hands. They console each other. Then they sing prayers with cracked voices. They paint seeds and plant them again because somehow inside of them is something that breathes life. So in pain, Benue people, you will rise again. You will demand justice for every child that was killed, for every man, every woman, every father, every home that is in tears. You will demand them. You will keep posting and reposting your pain until everyone who has contributed to this pain can see it and feel it and know what it means to be in pain. You will not be silent. And then when that 2027 comes, before you leave your homes, remember the people who did nothing, the ones who said nothing. And make sure none of them ever returns to work. Let them be like the ordinary man. That's how you will speak henceforth. You will not be used anymore. You will not be called food basket when it feeds them and pool of blood when they want.